Hey, what's going on? It's Quinn David Furness. Welcome to my show. Quinn David Furness presents the Beantown Podcast for Saturday, March 20th, the Ides of March 2021. What's going on? How are you? What's happening? My name is Quinn. This is my show. Hello to YouTube. If you are watching the live stream, it's good to see you. And if you are listening to us after the fact, it is always good to have you. My name is Quinn, and this is my show. The shirt is off. Got a little bit of the winter bod coming in hot here. We're going to be doing our best to shed that ASAP. But you know, the winter when the shirt's off, that's good news. Maybe not if you want to watch the stream, but in general, means the temps are rising, things are percolating outside. Spring is in the air. It's a nice, crisp spring day today. It's going to be even nicer tomorrow. I went for a lot of white people in particular. But I am, I'm feeling a little sore today. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of shifting in positions, here and there to stretch some tight things out, if you will. If you're watching us on the live YouTube stream, go ahead and leave us a comment. It's nice to see you here. Don't forget to subscribe, like, rate, all that fun stuff. My name is Quinn. This is my show. Listener discretion is advised when you're listening to Beantown Podcast. Number one, we'll occasionally use some language. Number two, this podcast is objectively terrible, although I think today's going to be pretty fun because we're breaking down some of the biggest underdogs of March Madness 2021. The tournament has started. It began Thursday night. My team, Wichita State, lost by 1 point, which was not fun. And then the full slate of games started yesterday, and then we are, going hot on day two of the opening round, the semi-opening round. What do they call it? The second round now? First round, second round. I don't know how any of that works, but I think they now just call it. I think this has been cleaned up recently. It used to back when they introduced the first four, it was like, okay, we're going to do first four, then second round, then third round, then Sweet 16. Now I think they just call it as it is. I think now they're just doing first four, then round of 64, round of 32, et cetera, all that fun stuff. So that makes more sense. We're going to be breaking down some big underdogs in this year's tournament, right? We've got Oral Roberts on deck. We're talking all the great Christian schools, right? I know Liberty's already been bounced by who we got. We got Abilene Christian. Are they in the tournament? I don't know. We'll find out. And we got all the great Catholic schools. We got Iona in New York. We got Creighton and probably at least 5 other Catholic schools that I'm forgetting. Georgetown just lost. Spoiler alert, if you're behind the times. Nova, they won. And we'll see what happens with DePaul on deck as a COVID replacement. TBD. That's going on. We're going to be breaking that down. I want to start off the show by giving a little shout out to my girlfriend's father, Jose. He gave me this great Cubs cap, and it didn't fit him, and so I got it as part of my birthday present. And I'm repping the team now. I think this is like my 5th Cubs hat, but this is the only one that I have that's like, the full-on authentic color sort of thing. The Cubs hat I wear most often is the a little bit older school Cubs hat with the it's blue, but the brim is red, which I actually really like. I like that most from a color scheme perspective. But thank you to Jose for that. And then Rachel had some birthday gifts for me this week. My birthday, in case you missed it, was this past Tuesday. I turned 26 big ones. Last week on the podcast was our 4th annual birthday podcast. 4 birthdays as part of the podcast. I started this show when I was a wee little 22-year-old. Is that right? 22? Can that be right? Well, I've turned 26, 25, 24, and 23, and I started two months before my birthday. So yeah, I started this when I was 22. That's crazy. I mean, the Beantown podcast still feels relatively new to me. Like grad school, it's crazy talk. This is a little reminder, a PSA. I think I'd be good for PSAs. Take your vitamins. We got here the Target off-brand of multivitamins, although I don't think there really needs to be a difference between name brand and off-brand multivitamins. Remember, folks, take your vitamins. Let me get my water. This week on the Beantown Podcast, Quinn talks about the importance of vitamins. Okay, so as we mentioned at the outset, we're going to be jumping right into some underdogs here from March Madness 2021. And let's just start off by talking about, maybe the big name from yesterday. They pulled a huge upset over the Ohio State Buckeyes, who I had Ohio State in the Elite Eight. They were a 2 seed, right? Yeah, I had them going all the way until they had to meet, whatever 1 seed was in their bracket, Illinois, maybe, I don't remember. But yeah, they lost, which was disappointing because, I actually, Ohio State was one of the few teams coming into this tournament that's in the, field of 68 that I actually watched a couple of games. I've seen them play Illinois very tough multiple times. And I figured if you can hang tough with the big boys, I mean, they took Illinois to overtime just this past Sunday, 6 days ago. There's no way you're going to lose in the first round. You might have a tough game, but they've got that gene, right? Nope, they were upset by the Oral Roberts. I don't even remember their nickname. The Flaming Eagles, something like that. Which makes sense because all the just what I know of Oral Roberts. Although I suppose we can confirm it with at least a Google Map search. My understanding of Oral Roberts is that it is a very white Christian school in Oklahoma. I don't think it's for profit or anything like that. I don't think it's that level of crazy, but according to Google Maps, Oral Roberts, it's in Tulsa. It says it's open 24 hours, which is ironic that Google Maps would say something like that because from what I know of these ultra conservative Christian schools like Pensacola Christian, Liberty, Oral Roberts, they tend to have very strict curfews. So the fact that it says open 24 hours is a little strange. Let's look at some of these top Google reviews. ORU provided me with a great education. Well, that's a glowing review. Love the genuine Christian focus of the school. Body, soul, and spirit is taught here. ORU is a Tulsa landmark. Their campus has been a tourist attraction since before we moved in the early 70s. And then it cuts off. There's some pictures from chapel. This looks like one of those places where all the kids have to go to chapel, every day or something, or every Sunday. I don't know. But Oral Roberts, I think we had. I can't confirm this because don't talk to him. But I think we had, a girl who was in our homeschool co-op. Bethany Niehaus, we're out here naming names. I think she went to Oral Roberts, and her brother Michael is a male model. And there's an older sister too. Rachel, does that sound right? We'll have to have some of the scribes tune in for this one. Who knew Oral Roberts was D1? First of all, who knew they had a basketball? Fairly positive is not allowed in the Christian faith. I think if you dig into one of those minor prophets, I'm thinking either Micah or Nahum. There's got to be something about playing on a Sunday. BYU doesn't allow their kids to play on Sundays. So what's the deal with that? Okay. That's Oral Roberts for you. There were a lot of upsets yesterday, but the other really big, bracket busting one, was North Texas playing against Purdue, another Big Ten loss. and they won in overtime. Here's all I know about North Texas. It's not far from Oral Roberts. Here's your trivia moment of the podcast. It's a new segment we're starting today. How far in miles is University of North Texas from Oral Roberts University? And I don't even know exactly where Oral Roberts is. I don't know exactly. I know where Oral Roberts is. It's in Tulsa. I don't know exactly where North Texas is. I was trying to do two things at once on my phone. Denton, is that the name of the town? I've never really been to the north part of Texas. I think I've been to Texarkana, but okay, let's pull up the directions. So again, we're wondering, main campus is here. None of those auxiliary, other ones. We're doing mileage as the shortest driving distance. Okay, so we're all on the same page. And if you want to double check my math, go to your Google Maps. I might have my tolls turned off. I don't think that matters. I don't think they have tolls in Oklahoma. Tulsa, but no tolls. Okay, I want to be very clear here. From university, let's just put in North Texas. Hopefully it will come up. We're doing how far is it between this? Quinn's getting peaked, okay? Because I put in North Texas on Google Maps and it had no idea what I was trying to say. And it's like, well, how many North Texases are there? Denton, Texas. I'm right. Okay. If you were to walk, it says 3 days. But if you drive, okay. Just give me the information center to Oral Roberts. Jesus. Okay. By mileage, shortest driving distance. Here's your last chance. Make your guesses. Drum roll, please. 265 miles. From Denton, Texas to Tulsa, Oklahoma. Not far. In case anyone's curious and has no idea like me where Denton, Texas is, it's just north of Dallas-Fort Worth. It's kind of in the same metro area. The only thing I know about North Texas is that they have a highly renowned music program. But I don't know who would ever want to go live there. It just seems like hot, and a lot of white people, and they probably have a lot of those tumbleweeds, rolling across the prairie there. North Texas, just out of all the directional parts of states, we got 200 to work from. And granted, there are some bad ones. East Mississippi, that's rough. You're not even close to the Mississippi at that point. You're on the opposite side of the state. Or West Wyoming, boring. North Alaska, but that's kind of cool because it's the only part of a state that's, in the Arctic Circle, which for, us Arctic Circle buffs out here is pretty neat. But North Texas is, and South Texas has not a ton going for it either. Okay, let's talk about some other. Oh, there's also Texas Southern in the tournament this year, and so it makes me kind of miss out on Texas Western, which is no longer called that. It's now UTEP, University of Texas El Paso. In case you've ever seen the the story of the Texas Western Miners from 1968. 57. What year is it? It was depicted in the 2007 sports film. 2006. I missed it by 1 year. Glory Road. 1966. Okay, neither of my years were right. Was the year Texas Western won the national championship over. They beat Kansas. Bill Self in Kansas. Is that right? Let's go. Let's figure it out. Kentucky. I thought for some reason I was thinking Kentucky was in the semifinal, but I think they had to play Kansas at some point, didn't they? I don't know. One thing I do remember is that they had to beat Kentucky and Adolph Rupp at some point. Turns out it was in the final. Okay, I got close. I was 1 year off with the movie, 2 years off with the team year. I think Kansas was a semifinal game. I don't remember, maybe Elite Eight. I'm doing my best here. Okay. One thing I would love, and it's not going to happen, but what if we had an all-Christian final? Okay, so Liberty's already out. They kind of ruined this for us. But we got Oral Roberts, Liberty. I'm pretty sure Abilene Christian made the tournament. Yes, they did. And are there any of these? I know we mentioned this at the beginning. There's a lot of Catholic schools like Mount St. Mary's. Drexel's Catholic, maybe. Is that a for-profit university? Grand Canyon University, the Antelopes. Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Or maybe it is. Grand Canyon University, a private Christian university. Very interesting. Wow. Okay, so put Grand. We need a separate. What if we did a segregated? Yeah, it is. It is for profit. Is that the first for profit? I mean, you don't see University of Phoenix making tournaments, and I understand it's confusing because Grand Canyon is in Phoenix. I see the confusion there. Okay, so our all Christian bracket here, we could have, and this isn't even the Catholic schools. We could have Abilene Christian, which is also in Texas, I assume. Just the name, it's just like, yeah, you're probably in Texas. I don't know. Let's confirm. But we could have Liberty, the most Christian school there is. It's in Abilene, Texas. There we go. Liberty's not. Liberty's in Virginia somewhere. So we got Abilene Christian, Liberty, Oral Roberts, and Grand Canyon, the sneaky dark horse for-profit school. That could be a great Final Four right there. Now, it can't happen this year due to the fact that Liberty has already been eliminated. But what do we got? We got any other Christian schools here? Again, lots of Catholic schools, but are there any like legit Christian schools? Utah State probably counts as like a semi-Christian school. St. Bonaventure's got to be Catholic. Georgia Tech, that's a public school. Loyola Chicago, Catholic. San Diego State, I don't think is Catholic. I think that's just a public school. BYU, I mean, they're the highest ranked Christian school here. BYU and States. And then Gonzaga, of course, number one overall seed, is also Catholic. Baylor, is Baylor Christian? Baylor, and I mean, obviously TCU is. Baylor, does that count as a Christian university? Is it just affiliated with something, or is it like legit Christian? I think it is. Their tagline, a nationally ranked Christian university. Wow, we got like, I mean, if you don't count the Catholic schools, we still got like 6 or 7 straight up Christian universities in the round of, in the field of 64 this year. Yeah, and in the Catholics, we're up to like a quarter of the schools are Christian or Catholic in some form or fashion. That's legit, man. This podcast it was just going to be about underdogs, not necessarily Christian schools, but they say when the Lord's on your side, nothing can stop you. But when a quarter of the teams have the Lord on their side, how do we determine a winner? I don't think there are any Bible verses that address that. Other significant underdogs, Mount St. Mary's has already been knocked out. I had my boss's boss, my previous job, used to work, or not used to work. He probably did as well. He played college basketball for Mount St. Mary's. The Mount, what are they? The Tuscan Raiders, something like that. I don't remember their team name. Eagles. Everyone's got to be an Eagle these days. Well, I'm looking for more great Christian schools or underdogs in general. I want to give a shout out to Home Pride Oregon. If you need a home inspection service provider that you can trust in Central Oregon, call Steve at 541-410-0316 or just visit homeprideoregon.com. Steve will get you taken care of. Best home inspection services in Central Oregon, I guarantee it. I might have a little bit of sunburn. Can't tell. Maybe I need to go in the mirror and get a better check. It's very sunny out today in Chicago, which is nice. Perfect running weather. I mean, high 40s. Obviously, it's better to have clouds than sun for runs, but it was just very uplifting, the amount of vitamin D. And the nice thing, usually on my long runs, I've been going north first and south. And the way the wind pattern has been recently, that means you get the wind in your face as you're coming back. Today I went, down to Fullerton and back. So I go south and north. And so I had the opposite thing. I dealt with the wind on the way down and had almost no issues on the way back, which was just, it's clutch. The wind today, not that bad, but this week in Chicago, if you live in Chicago or anywhere in the Midwest, I assume, the wind this week was brutal. And then let's see, I'm missing somebody. Oh, Samson, the Samson Q2U series, crisp, clear audio quality that you can trust every time. You know it, you love it. When God speaks, he uses a Samson. Sorry for the abbreviated ad read today. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. Mine's a little scattered. I don't think this has anything to do with it. I did receive my first dose of the vaccine last Sunday morning. So second dose is coming up in 2 weekends here. Easter weekend, always a big show. And the anniversary of our Tim Uther podcast from last year, which was a lot of fun. But I was knocked out. For Sunday was this arm soreness. Monday was fever and chills and super muscle soreness. Tuesday I felt okay. I had a really bad headache for most of the day and pretty bad muscle soreness, which was a bummer because it was my birthday. Wednesday I was pretty much feeling back to normal, still just a little cloudy, hazy. And then the last couple of days just super low energy. Irritability, 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 19-letter word. But which is frustrating. I don't think I've been taking it out on people. Hopefully not. Hopefully no one listening has felt that way. They've communicated with me this week, but it's just been, I hate that. I hate feeling that way. Mind is just, I've been having trouble relaxing. Mind has been scattered. I don't know if it's COVID vaccine, something else. I'll keep you posted. We got Winthrop. They also lost. They're some sort of bird. I don't know anything about Winthrop. Take your guess right now. Maybe you know, but maybe you don't know. We're doing some guessing today on the podcast. Where on earth is Winthrop? Winthrop University. I'm going to guess North Carolina. Typically, when there's a university I've never heard of, I usually guess Texas or North Carolina. Let's see. Winthrop University. So close. Rock Hill, South Carolina. I didn't know South Carolina had universities. I just assumed no one there was college educated. You're going to hate this. Go look where Rock Hill, South Carolina is and see how far away it is from the border. That's got to be 10 miles. Oh geez. It's right across the border from Charlotte. Not in case. What am I trying to say? In fact, how long does it take to drive from Charlotte, North Carolina to Rock Hill, South Carolina? 31 minutes, 24 miles. That's brutal. This close, missed it by that much. Okay, Winthrop's already out, so I would say don't watch for them because they've already lost. Oregon State. My sister goes to Oregon State. She's the only one who has an alma mater in the tournament. No Northwestern, not even alma mater or where you currently attend. No Northwestern, no DePaul, no Northern Illinois, no Sam Houston, no Texas State, Columbia. The Ivy League didn't have sports this year, so no tournament for them. And the Central Oregon Bobcats not eligible because of they played in JUCO. So, sister, I hope you're happy to have your team be the only one represented in the NCAA tournament. Not only did they storm and win the Pac-12 conference somehow, beating the Colorado Buffs, they also won their first game. They upset, who did they play? Tennessee And Tennessee is one of those rock solid teams where you're like, okay, they're not going to make the Final Four, but they're going to win a game or two. Man, the Vols really sucked it up. So congratulations to the Beavers. I did not pick them, and that is going to hurt my bracket. Syracuse is not an underdog. Every year, Syracuse, and I picked against them this year, which is just a stupid thing to do because I really thought the Aztecs from San Diego State, SDSU, were going to go far. They didn't. Syracuse is an 11 seed this year. Syracuse should never be ranked. I don't care how they do. They can lose every game. If they make it to the NCAA tournament, never pick Syracuse to lose. Those guys just, I don't know what Jim Boeheim is feeding them up there. Is that the name of their coach? Jim Boeheim. Boeheim. Same suffix as Anaheim. Yes, the Syracuse Orange. I don't know what he feeds those kids come March, but they are unstoppable. Damn Orange. Teams. We didn't even get to talk about some bigger underdogs like Kansas and Illinois. But, maybe we'll, this time next week, they'll be having, Elite 8, Sweet 16 games. So, we'll check in on our brackets. I didn't even mention my bracket. I didn't fill one out live on the air. It's trash. And I know a lot of people are suffering, but not only did I miss, the big upsets that, you never would have picked, which we already talked about on the show. But then there are some other basically outside of the 1 seeds thus far, I've pretty much found a way to screw more or less everything up, which has been a lot of fun. So not feeling too great about it. Definitely not making any money off my brackets this year, but that's okay. Because I think I only put in $15, something like that. Although I haven't gotten my stimulus check yet. So some of us are hurting, the 1% here who don't have our stimulus checks. That's what I got for you. Smaller, shorter podcast today. Just wanted to check in on you. And I'm going to, pour myself a cool bev, check in on some of these March Madness games and try to unwind a little bit before going out tonight and having some supper with some friends. But thanks, everyone, for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. As a reminder, you can always email us, beantownpodcast@yahoo.com. Again, this Beantown being podcast@yahoo.com. And final update, the signed autograph photos, our pledge drive thank you gifts, those have been sent out yesterday. They are good to go. So look for those in your mailbox at some point this week. And we're going to be getting into some of our thank you interviews, hopefully coming up soon here. We're going to get Matt Fiedler on the podcast soon in the next couple of weeks here because tax day is 26 days away, okay? Coming up very soon. Everyone, thanks for listening. Stay sane, and I'll check in on you next time. Bye, YouTube. You always got to click about 10 times to make it end.